Just wanna make you feel good.
Hey everybody, Brandon Shiga here for week 2 of Mobile Development Frameworks 2. I'm going to answer these questions really quick and then I'll get to my code and I'll show you guys how my app works. We'll see how well it works when it's plugged in, but I'll show you what it does. So, the name of my app is called Measure That, and basically it's an application that allows you to use the camera on the device to kind of get a snapshot of the bottom of an object and then the top of an object, and it tells you how tall it is. So it uses the camera portion so you can see what you're aiming at, and then it uses the accelerometer to tell what position the device is in when you press the record buttons, and it has a little notification toast that pops up, which is supposed to take you to another activity that shows you the formula on how it works, but for some reason nothing happens when I click the notification. I can't figure out why. How do these features interact with each other? So the camera, like I said earlier, basically just lets you look at what you're trying to get a height of, and then the accelerometer is based on the current position of the camera, in a sense, kind of. I get the angle based on the movements of the accelerometer. And then the notification, it's supposed to show you the formulas for how I get the height, but it doesn't work right. I'll show you what the screen is supposed to look like though. What could use more clarification this week? I don't really think anything. I thought it was all pretty straightforward, so I didn't have too much trouble with it, but yeah. So I'll go over my code here really quick. Let me show you what it looks like with the view here. So what I have is this view, which is a frame layout, and it lets you, that's like the camera's eye kind of, it lets you see what you're looking at through the camera. I have a string here, which is the distance, which tells you how far away from the object you are, and then I have another string here, which is the height, which will tell you how tall the object is. And then I have two buttons, a get base and a get top, and basically you click get base when you're looking at the base of the object, and you click get top when you're looking at the top of the object. So let me go back into my activity here. Here's my sensor manager. I use the accelerometer to get the angles. And then, let me see. Here I check if the device has a camera. I call my function check camera hardware, which basically just tries to open the camera. If it can't, it makes a toast that says cannot connect to camera. So if you're using the camera on another app, it won't let you use it here. Otherwise it would just crash. So I have that check in there to make sure it doesn't crash. And then otherwise, if it does have a camera and it's usable, it gets a new instance of this class camera preview, which I made, which is all on the Android developer resource, so I can show you guys that really quick. And then it makes the preview layout and it adds the preview to my frame. And then I have the two buttons, so the one button will calculate the distance to the object, the other one will calculate the height. And then I have this save height, which I'll show you guys what that looks like with my notification. Basically the formula is based off how high the camera is off the ground. So when the app first loads, it asks you how tall you are, and it's not very accurate because it's assuming that you hold the camera right in front of your face, or well, actually at the top of your head, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's within inches, so it's not that bad. I store those values in, and then I was gonna make a settings menu that you can edit them if you want, but I ran out of time for it. So here is my check, or my where it tries to get the camera open. And then here's my on sensor change. So these are the 3 values for the accelerometer on the X, Y, and Z axis. And then this is a formula which calculates the angle on the X-axis, I believe. If you hold the phone horizontal, like in landscape mode, and you tilt it towards you and away from you, that's the angle that it calculates. I'm not really sure which axis it's on, but that's how it does it. And then my calculate distance, so I just basically use triangles. If you know how tall the camera is and the angle between the object that you're looking at and the perpendicular, like yourself, then you can determine how far away from the object you are, and then I use that same distance and the angle to the top of the object to find the height of it. So it's not anything too difficult. I do have a check in here. If the object is taller than you, then you have to add the height, and then if it's the object is shorter than you have to subtract it. So that's one thing I realized when I was making the app. And then here's my notification manager. So I'm gonna go really quick, and I'll just kind of show you what the calculate activity is supposed to look like. And it just basically has a bunch of formulas that it'll fill in these properties, so they'll actually be numbers, and it'll show you how it calculates everything. And then the last thing I guess I can show you is my dialogue, which is just 2 number pickers. Let me find the layout here. It's just 2 number pickers with a couple of text views, so you can scroll through these and pick your feet, your height and feet in inches, and it basically just stores those into it sends them back to the main activity, and then it runs the edit preferences thingy. So let me open my Droid to screen here. So now I'm going to show you guys what the application looks like on the device. When the application first loads, it's going to show you that height dialog. So I'm going to go ahead and put my height in here, which is 5'11". It's about 6 feet, whatever. And then I'll click save. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to aim at the base of the door. So I'll go ahead and aim at it. I get base. So it says we're about 5.1 feet from the door, which is probably pretty accurate. Now what we need to do is we need to aim at the top of the door there. And we'll hit get height. You can see it says height of object is about 6.4 feet. And a little notification popped up that also tells you what the answer is, 6.4 feet. So if you click it, it's supposed to take you to the activity. But for some reason I can't figure out and it doesn't. But yeah guys, that's my app. Sorry for the super long video. There's a lot to explain, but I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.